What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So guys, today we're going to be doing something that I've honestly been looking forward to for a while. We're going to be making one of my cars modern again, because this car in particular that I'm talking about is from 2015 and it feels a little outdated. Now I know some people like the more analog look and all that. Personally, I don't. I'm a bit of a tech nerd, so I appreciate the digital clusters, the big screens, and all that type of stuff. As a matter of fact, that's why I love the interior of the G80 M3, the more modern BMWs. If you guys don't know, this is a 2023, so you get that bigger screen, which looks really, really cool. Again, some people don't like it. Personally, I love it. But what we're gonna be doing today is basically making one of my cars kind of look like that. And that is the 435. That's right, guys. If you don't know, this is a 2015 BMW 435, aka an F32. What we're gonna be doing right now is installing an aftermarket head unit from Extron's. And guys, this head unit looks sick because right now it does have the bigger screen. However, like I kind of hinted at before, that new head unit is gonna make it look a little similar to the G80 M3 in the style that it's got going on there. I'm not gonna string you guys along anymore. I'm just gonna show you this head unit because this thing is absolutely sick. Again, it's from Extron's. If you guys do want it, there'll be some links down in the description below. They do make a whole bunch of different types of head units. So if you guys don't like this one, they do have some other options. But check this out, guys. Bam, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look sick. I know some people aren't gonna be crazy about it because it is a bigger screen. It kind of mimics the style of like a more modern BMW, like again, the G80 M3. By the way, guys, not only is this head unit much bigger, much more modern looking, it's also gonna be touchscreen, but it's also gonna feature some cool things like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, something that this car currently does not have. So now in terms of installation, you guys can see there's a lot of stuff that this thing comes with. I'll be honest with you, you probably don't need everything here. You can definitely use it all, but you don't have to use it. The main things you're gonna need is the main harness as well as the auxiliary cable. There's some like GPS stuff, there's some 4G antennas, there's some external mics, all really cool stuff. If you guys wanna use that, definitely feel free to. I would also suggest taking a look through the installation manual. They put everything here in detail. But with that said, I don't wanna waste any more time. Let's start disassembling the car and installing the new head unit. All right, so to install this thing, what we have to do is basically take off this trim over here. We have to remove this trim, drop this piece, which actually should already come off. Well, that was easy, first step done. But yeah, there's some torque screws that we have to access all around. This sometimes you can actually just remove with your hand, especially if you've removed it before, which I have. Just make sure you're careful with that piece there because it is skinnier and more likely to break. So see if you can leverage some tools on that one. Just like that, that should come out. And then there's some connections behind it. There's one, and then there's one more. Just like that. All right, so with those out of the way, we can now access the 6 screws, so 4 over here, and then 2 holding in the actual head unit. I would highly suggest, guys, getting some magnetic Torx screwdrivers. They're T20, so like I said, guys, get yourself some magnetic Torx screwdrivers just so it can hold the screw once you take it out. Also, still be careful regardless. If you guys want these tools as well, links for those will be down in the description. So with those screws out, we should be able to lift up this, which we'll do in a second here. We're first gonna remove this here because there should be a connection we need to get rid of in order to remove it completely. I forgot, guys, mine kind of like spliced into this piece here. That way I can get ambient lighting around it. So I'm gonna disconnect that as well. There it goes. As long as I don't break anything. All right, next step, 4 more T20 screws. So I think that was the last of the screws. Now we can go ahead and put the microfiber cloth down just so we protect our trim, and we should be able to slide this thing out. It's still gonna be connected, so you can't slide it out completely, but hopefully just enough so we can get to all those connections. All right, so this part might be hard to see, so I apologize in advance, guys, but there's the main lube on the back of this unit. We wanna remove it by pulling the lever. Just like that, and it's out. Can you guys see that? Hopefully you can. So now within here, there should be they call a fiber optic cable. I believe we have to remove that and transfer it over to the new one. There it goes. All right, I didn't see any videos explaining how to remove it. Not sure if I broke it, but take like a Torx bit and just push it out. That worked for me. All right, so now we need to take our new loom, get it ready for the unit. What we want to do is take that fiber optic cable, plug it into this one. Let's see how it lines up. So it was right over there towards the end. So we're gonna try to match that up. So now we're gonna connect this piece to the unit back here. All right, just like that. Have to wrestle with it a little bit. And then you want to connect this part of it to the existing loom connection, whatever it's called. All right, just like that. And then wanna lock it in place, and I think we're good. All right, so I think this is all connected now. What we wanna do now is remove the screen. I already moved the 2 screws, so just be a matter of popping it out like that. There's a connection in here somewhere behind, which I might have to swing around to even see. There it goes. That thing was annoying. Pick tools definitely help though. So now we should bring this up towards the screen, so that way we can connect it all. All right, so we're just gonna route it through here. Not sure if that's necessarily the best place, but it's the place that it fits, so that's where it's gonna go. So with that through, we can actually start connecting our new head unit. So let's do that. All right guys, so that's the first look at what this head unit's gonna look like. But before I put everything back together, I'm gonna fire up the car and see if everything works, because might have messed up the connection, who knows? So let's test this out. All right, so as you can see, I have the display in. I did test it, everything was working really well. So I put everything else back together. You're basically just gonna like redo everything that you undid. Now, something I will say is typically for most cars, guys, you will have to run that auxiliary cable that I mentioned. However, luckily for this car, I don't think I need to run it because I was still able to get audio straight from Bluetooth, straight to the speakers, so I think I'm good. But do keep that in mind, you might have to run that auxiliary cable. You can run it through the center console, down like through this trim into your glove box here where the auxiliary cable sits. That way you can get some audio, but again, I was able to get some, so unless I did something wrong, I actually think I got lucky for once, which is amazing. But anyways, guys, there's a whole bunch of other things that you can get with this unit, like the mic, like the 4G. You can also run like a backup camera and stuff like that on it. Now, this car doesn't need it, but if your car does need it, you can also use this head unit for that. So this head unit does a whole bunch of stuff. So again, if you want one, links down in the description below. There's actually a promo code for you guys to use to get an additional 15% off. But anyways, with that said, let me show you guys what it looks like. I'll do a separate video going through it in detail, but for now, let me just give you a quick high level. All right, so if we turn on the car, guys will see the head unit will turn right on. Now, something cool about this head unit, it's actually connecting to my CarPlay right now. Something that's really cool about this head unit, other than the fact that it is obviously wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, by the way, is, as you guys saw, it's touchscreen. So that's super cool. It's a huge screen, so having the touchscreen is really nice. We can also use the BMW dial. That's pretty cool, guys. Like, you get the best of both worlds. So you can use the touchscreen or you can use the dial from BMW. So this thing kind of like integrates them both, which is really cool. Now, if you want to go to the home menu of this unit, you just press on your home button. Again, you can use the dial. Now, this is on an Android operating system, so you can do a whole bunch of things with this, guys. Not just like the things that you'd want to do with your car. I mean, honestly, I mainly got it for the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto, but you can do a whole bunch more, which we'll get into in the other video. But for now, I just want to give you a high level, some of the key things. If you want to go back into your normal BMW menu, instead of just pressing on home once, you press and hold it, and then you'll be back in your normal BMW menu. Now I want to play around with like the ratios and stuff here because it's a little off, but I think there's a way to figure that out. So we'll adjust that and make it look better. Maybe I'll talk about that in the next video. But for now, guys, you can go back to your original BMW menu if you want to do things like an oil change, anything like that. But for the most part, while normal driving, honestly, I'm just gonna stay in this menu, specifically in Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. This thing is honestly awesome, guys. Like, it reminds me so much of my G80 M3. That big screen look. I know some people aren't gonna be crazy about that, but honestly, I personally love it. If you guys like bigger screens, obviously you're gonna love this. This thing's like 15 inches, it's 2K. It's super high quality, looks really good. If you guys have any questions and you're curious about anything specifically, drop them down in the comments below so that way I can answer it in the following video. So there it is, guys, the X-Tron's 15-inch 2K head unit on a BMW F32. Again, if you guys want this, links down in the description below. But anyways, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I don't mind if you don't listen that much, but some of y'all don't listen at all. The same they be pushing your buttons, got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen at